This video explains the role of soul memory and why you forget who you are when you incarnate. If you arrived in a body already remembering where you came from, what you are and what happens after death, life would feel like watching a movie when you already know every scene. There would be no uncertainty, no curiosity, no discovery, no stakes, no reason to choose anything at all. Forgetting exists, so life can be lived from the inside, not as punishment, not as exile, but as immersion. Forgetting makes meaning possible. Why forgetting matters. You cannot care about heartbreak from the perspective of the infinite. From the infinite, everything resolves. You cannot care about choice when you already know every outcome. You cannot care about joy if joy is guaranteed. Forgetting gives experience weight. Weight gives it dimension. Dimension gives it value. Meaning only exists when something can be lost. Love only expands when it risks ending. Choice only matters when outcomes differ. Life only becomes precious against the backdrop of time. The veil is not absolute. Forgetting is not total amnesia. It's partial obscurity. People remember through instinct, longing, beauty, grief, intuition, desire, nostalgia, wonder, and recognition. You may not remember why you're here, but sunsets, music, touch, and connection make you feel briefly at home. These aren't coincidences. They're fragments of memory surfacing as sensation. Forgetting looks like identity. When forgetting settles, identity forms. Identity gives you a name, a story, a personality, and a timeline. Identity isn't your essence, but it's how the soul learns specificity. Without identity, the world would slide through you without friction. With identity, the world leaves marks. Those marks become meaning. Awakening is not escaping identity. Awakening isn't about deleting the character. It's about remembering the character isn't the whole story. A character is not the actor. But without the character, there is no story to live. The point is not to escape the story. It's to remember while inside it. Forgetting creates choice. Choice only exists against the unknown. If you knew every outcome, you wouldn't choose. You would execute a script. Awakening doesn't remove uncertainty. It changes your relationship to it. Instead of fearing the unknown, you learn to use it. Forgetting protects free will. If you remembered the full scope of your soul's intent too early, you would rush to fulfill it. Rushing turns experience into obligation. Obligation turns joy into duty. Duty collapses the point. Free will isn't a test. It's the luxury of not remembering the big picture until you're ready. Awakening happens in waves. Forgetting doesn't reverse in one moment. It reverses through 1,000 tiny recognitions, a desire that feels inexplicably right, a truth that feels familiar, a boundary that surprises you, a grief that feels ancient, a knowing that doesn't ask for proof. People call these spiritual experiences. In reality, they are remembering experiences, remembering your essence as source. Field in motion. A child builds a tower from wooden blocks. She isn't calculating outcomes or narrating purpose. She isn't performing for approval. She isn't strategizing her future self. She is here. When the tower falls, there is heartbreak. Real heartbreak. Then rebuilding, or moving on, or laughter. This is not transcendence. This is what forgetting is for. To feel life from inside the experience instead of above it. Closing. Forgetting makes life matter. Remembering makes life make sense. Being human is learning to do both.